Good morning, everyone. I'm Sia, and this is Chasing the Moon RV. For any of you who are new to my channel, I'm a senior solo woman on a 6-month road trip in my 1994 camper van. I've traveled from Vancouver through all 10 provinces and now have moved down into the United States and will be crossing the states and back home by Christmas. But this video is about Newfoundland. This is Newfoundland Part 2, and it was a difficult video for me to edit. After having been there so recently and knowing how much devastation there was in that province, my heart goes out to anybody that was affected by Hurricane Fiona. So I feel very blessed though, because I had planned on initially being in Newfoundland for over a month, which means I probably would have still been there when the storm hit. So somebody was watching over me for sure. I like my channel to be uplifting and maybe even inspiring, so I'm not going to dwell on the negatives. Hopefully the little towns that you're going to see in Part 2 still look as they did when I was there. And I'm just going to let the video speak for itself to the beauty of the province. Brigus was a charming little town. It was settled in 1612 and is well known for its well-kept architecture, its stone walls and winding lanes, and lovely gardens. Brigus is also known for its tunnel, which is 80 feet long and was hand-drilled through solid bedrock in 1860. It took 4 months to build and was in use until 1910. The reason for the tunnel was that Captain Abram Bartlett needed a deep water harbor to bring in his catch. So he bought a piece of property and built himself a tunnel. His home, Hawthorne Cottage, is also a heritage site that can be visited. Of course, for any of you fans of rock-solid builds, I couldn't leave Brigus without going past their offices. This is Coastal Mechanical in Clarenville, Newfoundland. So I'm just waiting for everyone to finish eating their lunch, and then we'll see what's wrong. So I'm just praying and fingers crossed that it's nothing too serious. And the verdict on Luna was that they said the engine sounded fine, so I'm relieved about that. But she needs a new water pump, and they didn't have one. So we're camped out here. They have been wonderful. They took me in right away. Everybody's very friendly. The owner even came into the office where I was sitting with Charlie, because poor old Charlie was so stressed out from all the noise in the shop. The owner came in, got on his phone to a friend, asked me for my phone number so he could send it to him and have him send me a list of must-see places before I leave Newfoundland. Just so lovely, the people here, so helpful, and nothing seems to be too much trouble, as I think I've said about every maritime province. I have no idea what the final bill is going to be. But I knew that something bound to happen, and this van has been incredible for the first half of the journey, and hopefully she won't need anything else. She got me all the way here. She has to get me back home. That's the deal I made with her. I feel fine here, and I have everything I need, so I think we'll have a quiet night. It's also gotten very cool. It went down to 11 last night, but I do have a furnace, so if needs be, we can turn that on. I was in the van while Trevor was working on it when he suddenly jacked it up, and I was afraid to move in case it shifted and fell and crushed him. And then he went for a coffee break and left me in the air. Trinity was a cute little town. It's on the edge of Trinity Bay, which is a wonderful place for whale watching. It was established in the 18th century and has many historic heritage buildings. The one on the left, the large brick building, was the first brick house in Newfoundland. My apologies for the quality of some of the video, but I couldn't bear to cut any of it out. When Jean Cabot, the explorer, made landfall near this town in his ship Matthew, his first words were said to have been, "O buona vista," or happy sight, and I'm sure that was a very happy sight after all that time at sea. Although the area is mainly known for its natural beauty, the town of Buona Vista is known for its colorful fishing huts and its historic homes. You can also see icebergs and whales in Buona Vista Harbor. In the inner harbor, there's a full-size replica of Cabot's ship Matthew, which can be found housed in this large blue building on the left-hand side. This is Skipper's Restaurant, where I finally went to get my lobster dinner and was told that lobster was no longer in season. This is Dungeon Provincial Park, a UNESCO geopark, and one of the most amazing places I stayed. It's an absolute must-see. I truly was overwhelmed by the natural, raw beauty of this area, and I didn't realize until after I had left that there's no camping in this park. The grass area is communal pasture land, and there's no camping, but there were no signs anywhere, and so I spent the night, and it was marvelous. What an incredibly delightful bonus to being in such a beautiful place, to look up and see that moon. John Cabot and his crew made landfall here in 1497, and I wondered what must have gone through his mind and the minds of his crew when they landed on such a wild, harsh landscape. It must have been so daunting. I know it's daunting for me, and I'm in a camper van. Grossmorn National Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It took Mother Nature 485 million years to create this incredible area. It's 1,805 square kilometers of soaring fjords and mountains, and they rise up above beaches and bogs, forests, and barren cliffs. It was shaped by glaciers and colliding continental plates that actually forced the Earth's mantle through the surface. And there are very few places on Earth where something like that can be seen. I truly wished that I was at least 10 years younger or hadn't had any joint replacement, because to have climbed to the very top, you can hike to the top, would have been incredible to see. And you can take a 2-hour boat ride that takes you up into the fjord, but I couldn't leave Charlie in the van that long. But oh my gosh, how I'd love to have done that. Looking across to Rocky Harbor, where we've been. Stopping for a little break. We finally made it back to Puerto Basque to take a drive along the coast on the other side of town. It's about a 45-minute drive out before the road ends at Rose Blanche, and then back to take the 11:15 ferry again to Nova Scotia. The potholes on this drive were killer, but it was so worth it. The landscape was like none I've seen anywhere else in Canada. And if you ever get a chance to come to Newfoundland, do it, because you won't regret it. It is a wilderness area that is spectacular. another 8-hour trip back overnight, 11:15 to 7:15 a.m. It's going to be a long one, but the ferry's lovely itself. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe if you haven't and you've enjoyed the videos. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. I love reading them. I love responding to them. Traveling alone, it's nice to hear from people. So, yeah, leave me comments, suggestions. I'm always happy to hear any suggestions you have for changes, for things to include, things you'd like to know about what it's like to travel as a solo senior female in a van with a little dog. So, yeah, leave me comments, please. And of course, as always, wherever you are, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'll say bye-bye for now.